Welcome to Nerds Geeks in the Kitchen Sink. It's a podcast that's like hanging out at the video store.
Why do you say that like a question every time?
I like
It's
looked at you
like,
like, am I getting it right? Is this correct? I'm
yeah.
one of your hosts, DK.
I'm Chris, your other host.
Improve if you feel like it.
There you go.
And
Got into
wow,
the habit of it.
it's Chris, are you excited that it's Valpurgis night?
Valpurgis night.
Tonight's the night, baby. You going to
Is
any
that?
orgies?
Well, I was about ready to say, is that something with Vicodin or with
Vicodin.
Viagra,
Oh.
some painkillers and shall we say uplifters?
Whatever you need to get through this event
Hey,
is what I'm
whatever
saying.
it takes, whatever it takes.
It's yeah, that's tonight. We're doing it. So it's been a nice couple of weeks since I saw you. You've been on
Yeah,
some trips.
I have been on some
You
trips.
won any more championships while we were gone?
No, we that's what next week is for.
Mm.
My lovely trip to the state of Florida.
Your trip that has caused an uproar in the Discord.
That's okay. I'm leaving the hellscape that is Illinois, so I'll be more than happy to
We call it
go
Illinois.
Illinois.
Uh
Chirac. I mean,
but I think no, I think a trip to Florida would be nice.
yes, it will be.
I don't know if I want to live there, but I would definitely want to go there on a trip.
Oh, where I go in Florida, yes. Fuck yes, I'd go live
You
there.
want to live there?
Yeah, hell yes.
All right.
You've
But what
seen
if
pictures.
creatures rise from the sea?
Okay. I have things that are metal that aren't lightsabers that I have no issue with using.
I see. Okay. Or like a force pike or something, like a knife.
Well,
That's what we're talking about, I'm sure.
Right.
Okay. Anyway,
a few Boba blasters.
Yeah.
Maybe a cycler rifle or two.
Oh, I would love, man. I love that. Okay. Anyway, hi. This is a podcast where we talk about movies, games, TV shows, all that stuff. We can start with a game.
Yes.
I have been very excited about Star Wars Jedi. That the very lightsaber you hold in your hands.
I know, right?
The sequel has come out just a few days ago. It's called Jedi Survivor.
Yes.
And I like it. It's good so far. I'm only a couple hours in, I would say, and it just feels like a natural. This is the next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it doesn't do anything. I would say maybe that the cinematics are better, and it's more. It feels maybe more like a Star Wars movie in some spots. I mean, the first one did too, but this one, like, they go out of their way to like kind of pull more of the style in.
Right.
And it does this.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I was to say I've watched a little bit of gameplay in some of the cinematics, the early ones. I don't want to spoil too much for myself.
Yeah, no, you don't.
I haven't had a chance to get it yet. So, like I said, I've been kind of
this is
insanely busy. So
this was top of my list, so I was ready far in advance.
Well, you know me, I want the physical copy over the digital one, so I just haven't had a chance to go get it yet.
Understood. But what I like is that it does the classic Star Wars thing of, oh, lots of stuff has happened in between these that you don't get to know about, but your character looks older, your character has different features, your character has new friends that you don't know, and things have changed and you don't know why, and they're going to either tell you about it or not. But that's
we're just among the 40th anniversary of one of those kind of movies, so
yeah, it starts that way. But yeah, so far it's just as difficult. I remember the first one being hard. Same here. I didn't die to the first enemy like in the first one, but I've had some trouble already. There was a boss fight that I had to do, and I was like,
right,
am I gonna really have to bump the difficulty? Ridiculous.
Well, in the first one, that damn swamp monster or whatever the hell that thing was.
Oh, you mean Ogdo Bogdo?
Ogdo Bogdo, yes.
I so far have not encountered an Ogdo Bogdo, but I am now in a place where maybe there might be one, and I'm scared as hell.
Anticipation.
I'm not jumping down any holes. The first thing I did basically was once I got customization, I unlocked the mullet, and I equipped the mullet so fast. Um,
I've seen all sorts of renders of him
yeah,
from the customization, which
it's
are
very
pretty
fun that
funny.
you
Yeah,
can do that. Yeah, I would go for the pink saber. I think it looks cool. He looks good with a pink saber in his hands. I got to admit it. And yeah, I haven't unlocked a poncho yet, which I'm sad about.
yeah.
I was hoping for a poncho right off the bat, but no, so far no poncho.
So far, no ponchos.
Yeah.
Are there ponchos in this one, or
Oh,
do
there has to be.
they?
It's Cal
Okay,
Kestis. He has to have a
you
poncho.
never know. He's several years older. He may have got out of that phase.
No, you don't. You don't
You
leave the
know,
poncho. No,
the
no,
fall
no, no,
white chick phase.
no, no, no. It's poncho summer, and he's going to be in one. I guarantee it. The other thing is the customization for your saber is more intricate.
Okay.
It's nice.
I've seen some difference. There's some different emitter tops and a
Well, it's
few
not
other
just that.
things
There's
that
more pieces you can customize,
right.
and you can now customize more individual parts,
Oh, okay.
the color and things.
Yeah.
So you collect like color schemes, and you can pick from these colors. They're like you collect like they're like little, I don't know what you call them, but they're like little color swatches or something,
Okay.
and they come in a bunch, and you can unlock them all at once, and so then you can pick from that one. So like you can use basically they give you like a scheme, and
Okay.
then if you want to, you can make your whole saber that scheme, but you don't have to. You can
Right.
use individual colors from whatever you like. So it's cool so far, and you
It's
can
kind of
customize.
like going to Galaxy's Edge and building a lightsaber where you can mix and match.
It's a little bit like that, yeah. But
Okay.
and you can I unlocked a new emitter, but I went with the OG
Right.
Kestis emitter because it looks the coolest
Yeah.
so far from the ones I have. But no, great so far. It starts out. This is not a spoiler. It starts out on Coruscant.
Yeah.
So
Well, you've seen that on tons of stuff
you're in the
on
belly of the
even,
beast from minute one, which is pretty cool. I'm the thing I want to know is when exactly is this taking place?
right.
I want to
How
know
many?
because I have a theory of some people we might bump into,
Mhm.
and I want to know. And the other thing I've noticed is that Mando has seeped in to the game a little bit.
Oh, really?
I saw a couple of dank ferrix. I saw some Mando exclusive things.
Right.
So it definitely, you can tell they were influenced a little bit by Mando,
Right.
probably Andor, which is good.
Yeah.
It's a great thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, so far I would recommend it. I've heard the Steam version is getting like ripped to shreds because
I heard there's a lot of glitches
performance
on that.
is
Yeah.
rough. Yeah, I haven't really had any glitches apart from during one during one cutscene, Cal's lightsaber failed to turn off, and so he had a lit blade when it should definitely not have been lit. And so there would have been some dismemberment going on if it had
Gotcha.
been. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So, but
Say
beyond
no
that,
more. Say no more.
I'm playing on PS5,
Okay.
and it's been fine so far. I'm playing in not in performance mode, but in graphics mode,
Okay.
and it looks wonderful.
Right.
I do notice a little bit in the frame rate, and I'd say it's probably closer to 30 frames and not the 60 that you might want, but the look of it is so good that I don't really mind. I don't mind that trade-off. I might toy with it and change it to the performance and just see
Right.
it, see what's better. But for now, I've got it in visual mode, and it looks great. So,
That's cool.
but so far, definitely recommend. There's no glaring issues that I have.
Right.
That's a good thing.
Right. But that's good. Yeah, I'm after probably next week. I'll probably get it. So, like I said, being gone and everything, and being running around trying to get everything done before I leave for a week.
And we can talk about it more in
So,
depth in the
yep.
future. So I'm sure we
Yeah.
will. So,
moving on. I will touch on, and you said, well, I'm not going to talk about it, but hopefully next week we should have the Storm DLC for Midnight Sun.
oh yeah, yeah.
So,
Well, as people know, we love that game. I'm
Yep.
3 missions from the end. 3 missions
Okay.
from the end. I looked it up. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I had to know. So I'm so close, and I
Yeah.
love that game. So
It's so much fun.
I'll go through all those DLCs. There's also
Yeah.
new DLC for the Evil Dead game, which
Yes.
they've hidden from me. I just found it last night. It supposedly came out like Thursday or Friday, but I couldn't ever find it
Oh,
in the
so you
store.
told me about it a couple days ago.
Yeah, I
So,
never got it yet
oh,
because I couldn't
okay,
find it. I was like, oh, it's the characters were there, but you couldn't buy them. Um, but so I did find them, but I haven't bought
right,
it yet. But I'm gonna get it probably today or maybe
okay,
next week. But either way, I'm looking forward to playing as Brock Williams,
yeah,
Ash's father, aka the $6 million man.
right. Lee
Um,
Majors.
yep, Lee Majors himself. Yeah, and I didn't love the character Ball in the show,
Right.
but he really works in the game. He's a great demon to go against, and it looks he has this ability where he like freezes you and he touches your forehead with his little fingy, and it looks cool, and your guy's like,
Right.
it's cool. I like that, and his minion deadites are creepy.
Yeah.
They're like skinless people that run around, and they don't scream at you. They just kind of go like, it's really weird. The way they move, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, get out of here. So yeah, I like those. Anyway, I think you were
Yes.
talking about were you still talking about Midnight Suns? I just
No,
totally
no, no.
grabbed it and ran.
I was just jumping in, and
Okay.
I knew you had that coming too because we had
Yeah.
talked about it off air a while back
Yeah.
ago. So, but we are almost, or well, actually, we're probably just over halfway to Halloween.
We are halfway to Halloween. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, speaking of that, and a couple little things, we did do a college visit for my daughter
Yes.
at SLU,
Uh-huh.
St. Louis University. You
Uh-huh.
know where I'm going with this.
Yes, I do. You told me this.
I did tell you
Tell
this.
the listeners.
Tell the listeners. If you don't know any of the real backstory, St. Louis U, St. Francis Xavier Church, and the priest all were involved with the exorcism in 1949 that we've covered on a Halloween episode
Pretty extensively, we've
pretty
covered this. Yeah.
extensively. And they actually talk about, although I kind of schooled the kid that was our guide, but they talk about the incident and that where one of the buildings where it used to be the housing for some of the priests and stuff. So, but it was funny. I told you the story that the kid said something and I asked him a couple of questions, like and then there was another dad on here, and he like fist bumped me afterwards, and he goes, "Yeah, I knew all about it too. He's like, I'm a native St. Louisan too. Yeah, I was expecting a little more out of him."
And then the tour guide probably went home and was like, "This asshole on this tour guide on this
No,
tour."
I actually I promoted Troy Taylor's book to read, and he's like, "Man, I love that Halloween and horror stuff. I'll have to get it." So
All right, good, good,
maybe
good.
I used my useless knowledge powers for good that
Okay,
day.
all right, not evil,
Not
never
evil.
evil. Okay,
Chaotic good, maybe.
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
we do have a little Blu-ray we can talk about.
okay, well, I was gonna say one other thing.
Oh, go ahead.
Thursday it was announced, but apparently he passed away a month ago. But Ron Faber from The Exorcist, he was an assistant director, but he was also the voice of the demon in the original Exorcist, had passed away.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it was a
No, I
month
think
ago.
the voice of the demon was Eileen Dietz.
Nope, I actually went on IMDb.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Go on to IMDb.
I'm
He
going.
was the demonic voice, not hers.
You mean on the tape?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. No,
Okay.
no, 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 no.
Because I was like, no, I think that was Eileen Dietz. If that's how to say her name and if that's what it is. Yes, Eileen Dietz.
Yes, no. He was the demonic voice on the tape that started him.
All right. All right. Okay. That's better.
So
That's cool because I never knew who that was.
but he was the assistant. He was also the assistant director.
That's really cool too. It just says extra Pazuzu's face. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Actually, no. Hey, do you know Eileen Dietz has been in some cool stuff?
Yeah.
Exorcist, Barnaby Jones, Planet of the Apes,
Okay.
Happy Days, The Clonus Horror, which is a classic Mystery Science Theater episode.
Right.
Trapper John. Let's see here.
Trevor John MD. I remember
She's in
that.
Constantine,
Really?
which I didn't know.
Hmm.
Creepshow 3. Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie one.
Right.
And something called Hookers for Jesus. I don't know what that is, but I like the sound of it. Lots of stuff recently too. Wow. Eileen Dietz, you're doing it. You're really doing it. Like more stuff in the recent years than like ever before.
Right.
That's cool. Anyway, I just yeah, let's move on.
Moving on. No, but yeah, it was really cool to see some of that stuff. And we passed by the church and the old rectory and that kind of thing to, for a college visit, I was more entertained finally than just running around the campus.
Should they not just
gorgeous,
have?
by the way.
Oh, that's cool. I've never been.
Yeah.
They should just have tubular bells playing outside the church, always, 24/7. As you walk by, it's motion activated, and then like an animatronic priest comes out, does an exorcism on you.
It's not Disney World.
Wouldn't that be cool though? Speaking of things that are cool, this film, Glorious,
yes,
premiered on Shudder months ago.
Yeah.
I watched it then and really liked it. Yep. And now we've got this Blu-ray for review.
Yeah.
What did you think of Glorious?
I thought it was fun. It was pretty, I mean, it was one of those that you have to be in a certain frame of mind almost, I think, to really get into it. And
you're saying drunk?
Like, no. No, I mean, as in like the kind of like almost H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu-esque kind of enjoy those kind of stories.
A little bit, I would agree. I mean, definitely there are tentacles involved.
Yeah. And the the elder gods kind of.
Well, what I like about this film is that, I mean, this is the premise.
And it was so contained.
Well, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a man essentially trapped in a rest area bathroom, and through a hole in the stall, a voice comes out, J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
And it basically says, I need you to help me prevent the end of the world. Only you can do this.
What killed me was the art on the side of the stall with the glory hole.
Yes. And that's why the movie's called Glorious.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But there's more to it, obviously, and it's directed by Rebecca McKendry, who I really like.
Yeah.
I have been listening to her podcast for years now.
Yeah.
And so she once schooled me on Twitter. So I love that. In a nice way.
Right.
Just so we're clear. I'm a big fan of hers. And she currently does the show Colors of the Dark podcast, which is like a must if you're a horror fan. Yeah. It's a must listen. They cover everything. It's really good. So yeah, this movie is pretty good for what it is. It is like you said, it's low budget. It's very contained, but it does have these flashback segments that you're not just in this bathroom the whole time. There are some times when you get to go out of it, but it's mainly in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And you don't even see J.K. Simmons ever. He's just a voice.
Yeah.
But he's really good at it.
Right.
It kind of connected in my mind with Portal 2 a little bit.
Okay.
Number one, because that game is mainly voices talking to you that you can't see.
Right.
And number two, J.K. Simmons is in that as Cave Johnson.
Right.
And so it's like, oh, wait, there's more than one little connection here. And for whatever reason, and it kind of feels Portal / Half-Life-y with this. There's this creature from another place. And you have to do something. So, it sort of feels like that in some way.
Yeah.
So, but no, I think that movie's pretty good. I would definitely recommend it for people who are looking for something maybe a little different.
Right.
It's not an action-packed movie.
No.
It's not that kind of movie.
No.
I would say it's like a good episode of Twilight Zone or something.
Yeah, I'd compare that to
Something along those
compare it to
lines.
some of the lines that, yeah,
Hmm. Um, but
like
yeah,
Outer Limits, kind of.
it's probably
Twi-
more Outer Limitsy than it is
yeah,
Twilight Zone. It pushes some gore boundaries and things like that,
yeah.
but it's whatever. I think it's in that vein.
My favorite shot though of the movie, and it's not really a spoiler, you know, you, the guy is trying to escape constantly through this, but
Hmm.
when he finds the vent, and then when he goes through all that through the vent, and then it's right back,
Yeah.
but you don't think it is, but it's at a completely different angle
Hmm.
at first, so it was kind of a neat shot.
Yeah.
And I did like some of the perspective, being a visual cinephile, that I like the shots and the angles, and it was done really well for being in such a small captive space.
Sure.
I mean,
Sure. I mean, again, this is a small movie.
right,
It had a
right,
small crew. It had a small budget. It's a
yeah,
small movie, but I think it really works. So yeah, I definitely give Glorious the thumbs up. Everyone
yeah,
should check it
to
out.
watch, yeah,
Like Chris said, maybe you need to be in a certain mood for it, but
right,
it's definitely a movie that I would watch again,
yeah.
and look forward to doing so. Is there what kind of features do we have on this blue? Because if there's a commentary, I'd love to hear that.
I was saying double check it because I watched the movie itself, and didn't get a chance to get in
Hmm.
into any of the special features.
It doesn't say, but
Okay,
I can pop it in right now. I have a Blu-ray player. We have the technology.
there you go.
It's right here.
Okay.
This is exciting, right? This is good podcasting. People want to know about the movie Glorious.
Right. You know what? There may be some people that have never heard of it,
No, I think people do want
and
to know.
open up. Yeah,
Let me see. We're already almost there. Don't worry. Never fear.
never fear.
Mm-mm. Open disc. Let's play this bad boy. Yes. No.
Is there? Could
Ah.
be. Possibly.
It's not opening for some reason. Play. Have I lost my mind? Wow. Well, I'll keep on this and let you know.
I mean, I was able to play it on my PlayStation to watch
Yeah,
it.
no. I
Yeah.
think I why a VLC should play this, right? I mean, you'd think
Yeah.
VLC could play everything. I'm gonna try one more time, and if this doesn't work, I'm gonna lay down on the floor. Open disc, Blu-ray. Blu-ray disc needs a library for decoding, and your system doesn't have it. Okay, well,
I
I
guess we
guess
don't
I
have the
could Google it.
technology. Yeah.
Does Glorious Blu-ray have a commentary? Special feature.
The look of complete dismay on your face when you were trying to get that thing to
I
open
couldn't
was
believe it wouldn't play.
entertaining.
I rip
But
them. I
yeah,
rip Blu-rays all the time,
yeah.
but I, for some reason, I guess don't play them here. This doesn't tell me. Maybe there's not. Maybe they
Okay.
didn't do. I don't know.
Hmm.
Boy, I wish it said.
Yeah.
Uh, nope. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, moving
Well,
on. We
yeah,
spent enough
yeah.
time.
You know, for those doing the audio podcast are like, what the
I'm
fuck
so
is he
sorry.
doing? Yeah.
I am so sorry.
But that just makes you want to go to watch
You
us on YouTube
you need to
because,
find out. Yeah.
like I said, your utter dismay on trying to figure out what the hell was going on was
No,
entertaining
don't like
all in
that.
itself.
I could rip it and find out, but I'm not.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay.
But no, I give Glorious a thumbs up.
Yeah, oh,
For
definitely,
sure,
definitely.
for sure. All right. I did see the Mario movie yesterday.
Okay.
Took my daughter to see that.
Yeah.
Uh, it, if you're a huge Mario fan, you'll want to see this, I think. I'm not. I'm not a big. I mean, I grew up playing
Right.
Mario, but like even back then, I was always like, "Oh, Sonic is better." Sega Genesis, baby. So, and I didn't love the Sonic movie. It's fine, but
Right.
I think I'm just maybe I'm not the target for these movies.
And I think it definitely is for a younger audience,
Yeah,
the
obviously,
Mario
right?
movie. So, but it just seemed like it was just a fun kind of animated kids movie.
You get exactly what you think you're going to get. I
Right.
think that the standout thing for me in the movie was the score.
Yeah.
The score, I recognize every single piece of music that came up because I did
Right.
play a lot of Mario as a kid.
Yeah.
Um, I immediately was like, oh, okay, that's the overworld music from this one, or this is the in this level it's this music, or that this is the sewer music from Mario One, da
Right.
da da da, that
Yeah.
kind of thing. It had moments of Mario Kart, it had Donkey Kong, it had all kinds of little Easter eggs. I mean, it seemed
Right.
like most of the movie was just fan service, um, not necessarily a bad thing, but
No.
it did seem to just be like a general Mario. The story was super simple. They end up in the Mushroom Kingdom, and they have to fight Bowser.
Right. Well, I mean, you know what? It's pretty much it was a kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah,
You know, just
absolutely.
just have a Mario movie. Don't have any other bullshit. Just have a
Hmm.
Mario
And I
movie.
think they definitely nailed that for
Yeah.
sure. Maybe I mean I don't know. I don't know what more I could have wanted from it.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know what complaints there could be, but it's also like there is like zero depth to it at all. But it is what it is. It's a
But
fun
let's be
kids
honest. I
movie.
mean, there's not a ton of depth to actually a Mario game anyway.
Well, exactly. But it did
So,
have me thinking. You can do a story like this with Mario, but they had to they put Mario in his little world, but
mhm,
Sonic didn't get to go to his little world.
right.
Sonic had to come to modern day Earth because, and I think that might be because there is lore to Sonic, but it's like really only available in the comics and stuff. Like
Yeah.
there was so
There's
little
no actually in the
story
game. Yeah.
in the game. You just have to go, okay, now he's here. Look
Yeah.
at the way it looks. Okay, now he's here. Look at the way that looks.
Right.
Okay, now he's fighting Dr. Robotnik. That's it.
Yeah.
You repeat that every level.
Right. Right.
But Mario had this. You're trying to get to the princess. She's in the castle, and
There's a little more, even as you know, light as it is. There's a little more backstory to actually
yeah, and I think that
Mario
might be
than
the difference. But it's fine. There were some fun little Easter eggs that I picked up on in the Mario movie
right.
that I thought were fun. It's cute. That's about
Made
it.
a shit ton of money.
Yeah, it's dominating.
I mean, so now with the the success of this, and especially such a short time, I can see us getting not really in a universe, but starting getting more NEC world movies.
Yeah, there's going to be more Nintendo movies.
Zelda, Metroid, you know.
If they were brave enough to do Metroid, I would love that. I wish
I've
they
heard
would.
they're interested. I've heard I mean, I know there's tons of talk and people working on different you
Hmm.
know, storyscapes for Zelda.
I think Zelda's going to happen regardless. I think
Right,
Zelda. I mean,
right.
and that one is so cut and dry.
Yeah,
You go on an adventure with Link and he saves the princess
right.
and he fights
And it
Ganondorf or
just
whatever.
yeah, I was saying it just depends on what kind of storyline you want to go through. You can actually, you can almost have a series of movies with Zelda
It would be. I
basically
think
in the same aspect.
the thing that makes the most sense is just do Ocarina of Time the movie.
Yeah,
It's got the most. It's and you can go through the other ones. Just make them into movies.
yeah.
Ocarina of Time has the time traveling Link,
Right,
and you get different phases of his life. He's young, he's older, he's going through different locations at different times. That would be
right.
fun on screen. If the music is all there, it would be good.
Yeah,
It's insane that it hasn't happened already.
I
It
know.
really is.
I think that Mario is just such a internationally well-known, you know, piece of entertainment
Hmm.
that I think it really was the testing ground
You're
for
probably
it.
right. I
So
think of all these, I think Metroid is the one I would look forward to the most. But I don't.
Castlevania.
Oh well, yeah, but that's not a Nintendo. Nintendo doesn't own Castlevania.
No, it's
It's
Capcom.
Konami.
Yeah, or Konami, yeah.
Yeah. So that'd be cool. But who knows? Uh, but if those movies do well, maybe they could get something like a Castlevania going. There is
Right.
that Castlevania anime, but
Right.
I just couldn't get into it. I don't.
Yeah.
That's dumb. I've talked about that. I don't. I'm not really big on anime, so that's
To me, it almost
probably
seemed
my
like a
problem.
Vampire Hunter D light.
Maybe so. I only
I
watched the
mean,
first episode.
yeah.
But no, I would want to see Metroid. But my problem with Metroid is that I don't like the direction the series has gone. Basically, since Super Metroid,
Right.
I like Metroid Fusion. I like the Game Boy Advance ones,
Right.
but beyond that, like any of the Metroid Prime, Metroid, any of the 3D Metroids, I don't. And they've
Right.
sort of softened it a little bit. Like the feeling I get from like Metroid 1 and 2 is that they were trying to do like an Alien knockoff.
Yeah.
It's like Alien, so there's supposed to be some horror to it.
Right.
It's a sci-fi horror, but
Right.
the newer games, I don't think they have that.
Right. Well, I mean, that would be, something to really move into that they can kind of have that almost alien feel to it.
That'd be really cool.
So
But back
we'll
to
see.
Mario, it's
Yeah.
fine. Kids will love it, I think. I mean, adults will be delighted by. If you're a big Mario fan, you're going to want to see it for
Yeah.
sure. I'm just
Well,
not.
I mean, all the nostalgia and member berries are gonna be there.
Yep. And
So
there's references to many other Nintendo properties in it.
right.
It's not just Mario things, but there's some Nintendo things
Yeah.
that you'll be delighted by. So yeah, Mario movie gets a thumbs up if you're a Mario fan
Gotcha.
or a fan of like the kids' films. Um, you're probably going to like it.
Yeah.
I found the casting to be a little like um, Donkey Kong was played by Seth Rogen.
That was the only casting that I really didn't like.
Does that make sense? I don't
It
think that
made
makes
no
sense at
sense to me
all.
whatsoever.
Hearing the Seth Rogen laugh come out of Donkey Kong threw
I
me
know.
off.
Yeah. Seth Rogen was really the only one that I that really threw me off.
My problem
Everybody else
was
I thought did fine.
my problem was like the voices weren't all that unique to me. I mean, Bowser was Jack Black, and you could tell
Yeah.
it was him most of the time,
Right.
particularly when he's singing a song about Princess Peach.
Right.
Um, but I don't know. I just felt like the voice acting was a. They had Kegel. Oh God, Keegan Michael Key
Yeah.
as Toad,
Right.
but his voice is just pitched up,
Yeah.
and so you can barely tell it's him. Like, let it be him.
Right.
I don't know. I was like, why bother having someone as good as he is when you're just going to pitch it up and make it sound like someone else?
Right.
His deliveries are good. His performance is good
Yeah.
for what it is. Probably one of the best in the movie, but I don't know.
As I said, really the only one that really drew me out of it was King Kong, Seth Rogen.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
What if King Kong
King
was in it?
Kong.
That would be
God,
awesome.
why the hell? I knew it was Donkey
Hey,
Kong.
are you a Kong or a Zilla head?
Man, I'm a Kong. I like Kong.
I knew you'd say that.
I just,
You filthy ape.
I know, right?
I'm a Zilla person for sure. If Godzilla fights
He's
King
my
Kong,
1B.
no, you got to make a decision. If Godzilla fights King Kong, who do you want to win? The answer should be Godzilla.
Kong.
No,
Kong.
no, it's a Godzilla every time.
No.
I'd like some backup on this, please, in the Discord. Let
Oh,
me
I'm
know.
sure you will because
Give me
most
some
of them side with you, so that's all right.
Because I have good taste, Chris. Is that what it is?
No, because you need more help than I do.
Okay, that's fair. That's very fair. Well, anyway, that's the Mario movie.
Several times I'm Wolverine standing in front of Horde of Hand, and on the Discord. So, and I'm
Mhm.
fine with that.
All right. You're the
We
bad guy.
usually know
You're
where
the
the
bad boy of the Discord.
we usually know where the pile of bodies more rank up with.
All right. All right. Speaking of ranks and Wolverine,
Ranks,
just
yes,
really quick. I've been playing Marvel Snap, the card
yes,
game
uh
on mobile. And maybe you've heard of it.
yeah,
And I reached the highest rank that I've yet been to. And I'm very excited about
sweet.
being what rank was that? Where I took a screenshot. Where is it? Library. Screenshot. Okay. I'm level 75.
Okay,
That's vibranium level for anyone who wants to know.
sweet.
That's the highest I've been so far. It goes
Really,
to 100, so I'm in the top fourth
there you
of
go.
players, I guess, if you want to look at it like that. So
Yeah,
that's very exciting for me because I love that game.
I mean you're higher than me. Let me see. I'm punching mine up.
Boot it up.
I am. I am.
But this is the game I play every single day.
Right.
The new season, by the way, looks excellent. It's all Guardians, and the new cards are cool. The High Evolutionary is a really interesting card.
Yeah.
It it unlocks hidden abilities in cards that did not have abilities before. That's really
Sweet.
fun. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Well, is this a glorious situation where
This is a glorious.
you
Yeah.
can't play the Blu-ray?
God damn it.
While you're doing that, I'll just say that my deck that I've been playing is a Modoc Invisible Girl combo.
Really
You play Invisible Girl, she disguises the cards you're going to play, and they don't get
nice.
played. They don't get played till the end. So you go Invisible Girl, then you go Modoc. He destroys your entire hand, but then you've placed after Modoc Hela, and she recalls all the cards you discarded along the way. And so she'll play way more high power cards than you could ever actually play in a regular game. And usually it wins.
I am ranked. I haven't played in a while, so
All
I'm
right.
dropped like a rock.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was up. Yeah.
you lose 30 ranks every season.
Yeah. Well, I was up to 60, and
Nice.
now I'm down to 10.
Well, again, if it takes you down 30 every season.
Yeah.
If you haven't played that much, that's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Except play the game.
Right.
But all right. I'm maybe ready to jump into the final thing here.
Okay.
Would you, unless there's anything else you have?
Do we have any movie trailers this week?
Oh, we can watch the trailer for the the handy one.
Yeah.
What is it?
Take My Hand.
Take my hand.
New A24 movie.
Take my job. No, take my
Well,
hand.
yeah.
What am I thinking about? Take my hand.
What are you, like a 60s comedian? Take my
Take-
job,
Take
please.
yeah.
Speaking
Is
of
it called
other
that?
things, yeah, it's called Take My Hand.
I don't know if it is called that. Talk to me.
Or Talk to Me. That was it.
There is a hand in
When
it.
you see the trailer, you'll yeah. Talk to me.
You just reminded me.
Wait, I know.
Okay. You just reminded me of a story
Okay.
real quick.
I'm
Maybe
scared.
I've even told the story.
I don't know. Let's hear it.
My cousins were spending the night at my house once,
Uh-huh.
my parents' house. I had
Yeah.
moved out, but my little cousins were there. And they were like, "Oh, we watched one of your movies last night when I came to visit." They're like, "We
Right.
watched one of the movies you had left in the basement." I'm like, "Well, what movie was it?" And my cousin goes, "Tell no one." And I'm like, "What movie is that? Tell no one." He's like, "Oh, it's the one about the ventriloquist dummy, and there's like it's like scary, and there's an old lady." And I'm like, "Do you mean the movie Dead Silence?" He said tell no one because on the
Yeah.
cover he's doing this.
It says tell no. Yeah.
I think it's just because the visual is
Oh,
he's
okay.
putting the finger like shh.
I didn't know if there was like some kind of tagline on the front
No,
of it that
he
said
just
that,
assumed
or...
that it was called Tell No
Yeah.
One because he saw this. Oh man.
I can relate.
You just did that same
I
move.
know. I just did that same thing.
Take my hand. Off to Never Neverland. Let me get this pulled up.
Yes. Now I also did just side note because John Wick has been a big discussion the last couple episodes.
Yep.
Peacock is doing a 3-episode The Continental in September.
3 episodes.
Yeah.
Like I
Like
thought
a
it was a
mini
full show.
series. No, well, 3 episodes.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the whole thing, but okay.
Mhm.
I thought it was like like a regular size show.
Yeah,
But
no.
are they hour long?
I'm assuming so.
Okay. All
It
right.
doesn't come out until September, but side note. All right.
That's cool. You see it all?
I see it all.
All right, here we
Especially
go.
where it says talk to me.
Talk to me, baby. Take my hand.
Hello.
Have you seen the group chat? They're doing it again tonight. No. Please. It's my mom's Remembrance Day. I just want to forget about it.
In case people don't know, this is an A24 movie.
Right.
It's like, of course it is. I mean, just look at it. All right, anyway.
Yeah.
Also, that logo is the
Yeah.
coolest. That's the coolest thing. That's probably coolest part about this movie.
Okay. And now you know why I said take my hand.
Take my hand. Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's a hand.
Yeah, right.
Who's up?
I'll do it.
Cannot go for more than 90 seconds. Am I clear?
What happens after 90 seconds?
Don't want to stay. Light the candle to open the door.
Put the dog out.
Out.
Blow it out to close.
I mean, okay, hold on. I get that, but it's like, what? Is somebody gonna like screw the dog at that point? Or...
No, I think the dog will become possessed. I think that's obvious,
Oh,
Chris.
Okay. Well,
Come on, you don't want a demon dog running around. That's
I mean,
the
they are
worst.
from Australia, so
They
you
make
never know.
such a mess.
Put your hand on it.
Okay, stop again. Stop again. Just after us watching Glory,
Yes.
Glorious, just that line right there, my mind went in a really bad place.
Put your hand on it.
Yeah.
I see. All right.
Okay, keep going.
Talk to me.
It makes you sweaty.
Talk to
I
me.
guess, yeah.
What did the hand feel like?
Felt amazing. I could see and feel everything on the other side.
It's a cool visual. I like that.
Yeah.
She was trying to reach out. I'm here.
Straight into hell.
Yeah.
Still been saying stuff.
You mean saying stuff?
What if we open
It's a cool
the door,
visual
but
too.
we didn't
Yeah.
Oh my god, they followed us.
Straight for the jugular. All right.
They're not gonna stop. They're never gonna stop.
Okay, hang on. Was that a kangaroo?
That was a bloody kangaroo.
A bloody kangaroo. All right.
They are from Australia, so.
They like you. Talk to me.
There we go. Whoa, hello.
And
Hunger Games trailer started playing and I turned it off.
thank God.
So yeah,
That
yeah, I
would
saw
be
that.
more horrific than the movie trailer we just watched.
I man, that'll be fun. I'll see that.
It'll be
It
interesting.
doesn't
to see.
immediately pun intended, I guess. It doesn't immediately grab me that,
Right.
but I think maybe because I've seen so many just like that.
Right.
But I'm probably gonna want to see it. I'm definitely going to want to see it. I want to see them all, but
And that's the thing with A24. They really are hit and miss.
you never know.
And
Yeah,
sometimes
exactly.
when you think it's just going to be a mediocre at best movie, it actually turns out a lot better than you expect.
Mhm.
And the one thing I do like, I would say, the trailer really doesn't show much.
It just gives you an idea of the flavor for sure. But at the
Right.
same time, it's like how much of it's going to be drama and then how much of it's going to be scary stuff. You
And
don't
that's
know with an A24 movie.
I was just saying, that's the big thing I worry about with an A24 film.
Not that it looks bad in it by any
No.
means.
No.
I think maybe my issue is just that I'm a little bit burnt. Like Joe Bob just showed Witchboard. It's the same
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
They do a Ouija board and then something follows. It's it's not new, but that doesn't mean it couldn't be good.
Right.
I think maybe it's dumb of me to even complain. It could be great, and I might really like it. So I mean, I'll
We'll
definitely
see.
be seeing.
I mean,
it.
yeah, it's not until July, so the end of July. So
Yes. Okay.
So all right. Well, with us being midway to Halloween, let's get into it.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise.
Evil Dead Rise. First and foremost, I've seen it twice now.
Okay.
I don't go to the theater often, and when I do, I don't often see a movie twice.
Right.
So, okay, I don't want to say I don't go there often, but I don't go to the theater multiple times for one movie. That's for
Right.
sure. So for me, this is a pretty big deal. But it's been 10 years since the last Evil Dead, so
Right.
this is kind of my franchise. It was going to be very hard for them to mess this up. And me seeing it twice probably gives you an idea of how I feel about it. I really
Right.
liked it. I just before we get into it, I really liked it. I have some small complaints here and there,
Right.
but no real issue. I can't wait to own it on Blu-ray. Like, I don't even need to say anything else. Like,
Right.
I love this movie. What did you
Well,
think?
I'm going to start off by saying I did like it,
Mm-hmm.
but other than a couple of acknowledgments, it didn't feel like an Evil Dead movie to me.
You're gonna have to explain that.
Okay. Other than, the talk of the book and then like the audio recording, which totally different this time because it's a different book. That's the one thing, we're going to talk about spoilers. It's been out long enough that we
Yeah,
can...
there will be spoilers. Damn it!
Right.
Now, starting now.
Yeah. Did I got your tongue?
Yes.
Well, and that's just it. Like I said, other than like the visual trope of the demon going into someone at the beginning, the run through the proverbial trees.
Well, that was a drone.
Well, obviously, it wasn't, a camera on a 2x4 with two guys running with it.
No, it wasn't, and it should have been.
It definitely should have been. I mean, for God's sakes, fuck, they were in a parking lot, underground parking lot. They would have had no worry about hitting a tree. They could have just ran
who
and
knows?
did that.
Maybe they did that. Well, that you do get those shots in the end of that happening literally in the parking garage.
Yeah, right. Well, it did at the beginning too.
Yes, but that was the drone.
Right.
Oh, but you mean coming right up to the building.
Right, yeah.
During the rain.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did like the angle, and it was a nod to some of Sam's videography, I guess you want to call, or the angle of the building when you first see it, the apartment building.
Yeah, it's great. There's a shot that starts up behind the car and
Yeah.
it pushes forward. Yeah, exactly. You see,
and it's kind of at a at like a 90-degree, 45-degree angle when
Yeah.
you first see it, and then the turn and the visual. Honestly, the best like overall visual of I thought was at the cabin at the beginning.
oh, the shot, the title
Yeah,
shot.
right.
It's really good. It's really good.
That
There's
was-
no better way to hype me up for a movie than to show that.
Right.
Oh
Right.
man.
So and I have no real complaints visually on this.
Yeah.
My only thing was, like I said, it as a horror movie by itself, I liked it, but to call it Evil Dead and to kind of play off being Evil Dead, it just, to me, it didn't have that feel.
So you think it's? Can you explain and like why? Why?
I mean, it just didn't have a lot of those real characteristics of an Evil Dead movie. I mean, and I know this is more along the lines with the newest newest Evil Dead
It feels more
than
like the
any
original.
other.
It feels more like
Right,
the original, and it feels like the 2013 remake. I agree with that.
right. Um, like I said, I'm Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness.
Hmm.
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Sure.
That has, even the first one, really, it has a lot of those. They're not as in leaning as in hard in the other movies. The very first, Evil Dead, as Sam does in the rest of them, but it still has that flair and it still has that
So you
feeling.
just mean the way the camera moves around? Is
No,
that?
no, no, no. I meant just the feel of the movie itself.
Hmm.
And honestly, the remake, it felt more like you said, the very first movie
Oh, for
than the
sure.
other ones, but it still had a lot of that Evil Dead feel. I just
Yeah.
think this one, I know it's a different book. I know it's kind of a different kind of same concept, but I guess different demon, maybe.
Yeah. I guess we don't know.
Yeah, and that was kind of, you know, there really wasn't reference other than them saying the three books, which we saw in Army of Darkness.
Hmm.
So I'm assuming we're getting another one,
It would be cool to like follow the three books.
and
Yeah, to
then
see
have
where the
kind of
other two are.
a horror Avengers style, all three of them.
Yes.
Something happened.
Yes. Exactly. I don't agree with the "it doesn't feel like Evil Dead" thing. In fact, I think there were so many little things, uh, and it does a couple things that the other ones haven't done really since it's the first one. So for me, I don't know how it could feel much more. I mean, unless you had Ash or something come back, or put
Which
it in a
technically
cabin.
you
There
did.
is some cabin. Well, we don't
And
know if it's Ash for sure,
it
but
is.
it is his
It is.
voice.
And that's well. No, I'm not saying Ash. I'm saying it's Bruce Campbell's voice. I wasn't
Yes, it's
saying
Bruce
to say
Campbell's
Ash.
voice. But there's some discussion as to whether or not that character is somehow Ash
Right.
traveled back in time.
Yeah.
That might be on the table, apparently, according to the director, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So anyway, uh, the thing, like the first thing right away, is the push through the swamp,
Right.
which is the first scene, the first shot of Evil
Very
Dead
first
1,
shot. Yeah.
literally the first shot of the first movie. But then you get the girl talking to her, I believe they're cousins, and the girl laying on the bed.
Yeah.
That scene does something that the first Evil Dead does that I hadn't seen much since then,
Right.
which is the reading the book, and then the demon starts to read the words, like
Right.
somehow know the words. That's a callback to the scene when they're guessing cards in Evil Dead 1.
Right.
I love that. So like right off the bat, I was like, oh, this is classic Evil Dead right here. But it's a thing that maybe people wouldn't think about or remember because it's only a brief moment in the first movie, and that's
Right.
it. You know what I mean? That's a deep cut.
I mean, yeah, it is a deep cut, and that's part of the thing. It's one of those, and there's a lot of throwbacks and stuff. I mean, it really is, but it's just, to me, the overall, and like I said, I am not saying at all that I didn't like it, because I
Sure.
did. It just, to me, did not have. I know it had, aspects of the Evil Dead franchise,
I mean, let's go through it. There
but
was
it
a
just didn't
shotgun.
have the.
There was a
Yeah,
chainsaw. There was a
right,
Book of the Dead. There were Deadites.
right.
I mean, what else? What else do you need?
It just, I think it just didn't have the personality. I mean, to me,
Oh
the
man,
same
I think that.
personality as.
Oh, it definitely is a different personality for sure. I
Well,
don't.
and that's really what I mean by didn't have the feel of.
But I love that the Deadites are much more on a personal level, trying to destroy you in every way, including like emotionally. Later in the Evil Dead series, like they kind of get away from that.
Yeah.
But in the first movie, that's what it is. They
Well,
use
yeah, I mean,
they use
that's
their
what
relationship to you to destroy you, basically.
Right.
This happens in the new movie. I mean, it's a mother and her family.
Right. No, no,
And she
absolutely.
says some insane things,
Right.
and tortures these children. It really, to me, lines right up. Lines
Okay,
right
but
up.
did you not call the ending scene at the very beginning
What do you mean?
Not the one day before, but how the final girl finished
Oh, you have to
everything
know.
off.
You have to know.
You have to be, not to sound this way, you have to be completely and utterly oblivious or stupid
But to me,
to not know how
but to me
things
that
are
was
gonna end.
to me that was really fun. Like that's not a negative. That's like you see that there and you go, oh yeah, we'll be
See,
seeing you again
that
later.
to
Oh,
me
here we
that
go.
was
No,
it
no,
was too because especially with the shelf dropping, it was too obvious. If it was kind of just a thing in the corner, I would have liked that personally better.
I don't know.
But
I don't know. Do you want to go through the?
yeah, let's go through it.
Okay. All right. Let me pull that up.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, the name of the man and his tree removal company, Tree Surgery, was that what it was called?
Yeah.
Fonda's, because Bridget Fonda is in Army of Darkness.
Yeah.
That's such a fun reference. And well, I'll go through the other stuff when we get there. But okay, so let's just go through the plot. Friends Teresa and Jessica's new boyfriend Caleb are vacationing at a lakeside cabin where a seemingly ill Jessica scalps Teresa and decapitates Caleb before levitating above the lake.
Yeah.
Yep. That's what happens.
That was pretty brutal.
The scalping was brutal.
Yeah.
It really was. You didn't expect it at all.
No.
It's man. And the fact that she survives to get out to get out to the lake. The shot of her levitating is gold. It's so good.
Yeah.
And the words come up and the music happens and you're like, what are we in for? Here we go.
Yeah.
One day earlier, upset at learning she is pregnant, guitar technician Beth visits her sister Ellie, a single mother to teenagers Danny and Bridget, and preteen Cassie, in their condemned Los Angeles apartment complex. So right away, Danny, I don't know this, but I'm just telling you from Evil Dead knowledge. I haven't read anything. But Danny has to be named after Danny Hicks, the guy from Evil Dead 2 who recently passed away.
Right.
He plays he's the redneck guy in Evil Dead 2 who is with Bobby Joe, and he's there in the cabin with them for a little while. And then Bridget, I think, also is named Bridget Fonda. You know. Yeah. But this is my thoughts. You know, I didn't read this anywhere, so I could be wrong. The building is shaken by an earthquake while the children are in the basement parking lot. Uncovering a concealed chamber, Danny investigates, discovering religious artifacts, 3 phonograph records from 1923, and a strange book that he takes up to his room. I really, really like that. I didn't expect this. I thought for sure, judging by the trailers, that the book would be read at the cabin, and then somehow this evil would get back to the apartment. Yeah. I never expected.
I was thinking that the Danny kid was like one of the people at the cabin and escaped or something like that before I seen the movie. Yeah.
But it goes the opposite way. And I really like that whole little moment being down in that hole, and you find out that and they give you the info that it used to be a bank. Yeah. So it makes sense that the vaults would be there.
Right.
And I love, like, they've got all those religious artifacts in there. That giant cross is a good jump scare.
And then all the crucifix, the crucifix and protection medals. Yeah.
I really like that. It's like, man, what is down here? What is this?
So, mental note for the viewers and listeners: you see anything like that, go the opposite fucking way. I mean, just simple as that. Go the opposite fucking way. There is a reason that shit is up there.
But I think that's so delightful that it's been under there the whole time.
Yeah.
And it's an earthquake opens it up. I just love that. Yeah. I really love that. The initial record details rejected efforts by a priest to research the book, revealed to be one of the 3 volumes of Naturum de Monto. The subsequent record reveals the priest continued his research in secret and recites an incantation that summons demonic entities known as Deadites. that scene when Danny is playing the record and spinning it manually at the right speed,
right,
and the speakers, the shots of the speakers,
mm-hmm.
and you have the voice, and it's going Kanda. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have the chill. For me, like that, I was like, this is why I'm here. This is the thing. This is the reason why I'm here. I love this so much.
Now, a little thing that I was like, come on, was the book wouldn't open without him drop of blood.
I agree. That's a little bit
Thinking
of a trope.
It was like,
yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
I mean,
But still, you know,
that was never a thing with the original
I agree.
Necronomicon.
Yes, it was not. Yep.
And honestly, I kind of liked the design of the book.
Yeah.
But I kind of didn't, because it reminded me of like the Beast Manual from Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, the book
The
monster
one with the teeth.
book.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. I think the look of it's great. The blood thing, yeah, it's a trope, but that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it, I guess. It worked for me. But just the audio there, like I want that. I want that all the time. That's so cool. The building's power fails, and an isolated Ellie is attacked and possessed by an unseen force. She pulls a complete Ash move. She says 5 minutes before, never take an elevator after an earthquake.
Right.
And what does she do? She looks at the steps and goes, that's a lot of work. I'm going to take the elevator. After she just told her family, don't do this.
Right.
It's exactly an Ash move. It's completely what Ash would do. He's a moron.
Well,
he goes back to the cabin. He reads the same stupid book. He gets high later and he reads the poetry with a woman, like just to impress a woman, just to get laid. It's it's very Evil Dead. So for me, again, this is right in the pocket where we are there. This is an Evil Dead. She returns to the apartment in a trance, menacingly threatening her family, and dies after pleading with Beth to protect her children. The scene of her in the elevator, glorious. The breathing sounds, her getting slapped by an invisible thing,
right?
Her getting wired up by the cables.
That was the only thing I kind of was like,
That maybe worked better in storyboard.
Yeah. I wasn't a huge fan of that part.
But it didn't. It does fit. It's the tree vines. It's the branches. You don't have the woods, so you have to do something.
I would have preferred something like, almost like some of the things you've seen in like possession movies of contortion and everything else, and like all the mirrors,
plenty of contortion.
All the mirror. Well, but it was because of all the wrapped up with something, and something like all the mirrors that were, or the the glass that was around, just like explode. Kind of that'd
be cool.
That I thought that would have been a more.
There was a glass explosion, wasn't there?
It like broke. It wasn't.
Yeah.
When I meant kind of remember the end of Highlander when he says there can be only one after killing the Kurgan.
You're a Highlander freak.
I know. But that kind of thing where all the windows explode, kind of where the glass and the mirrors around would have that would have been more, to me, a little more visually better than CGI wires.
The limbs breaking. I do like when she opens the door to the apartment and her arm is swinging.
Yeah.
And it's because that arm is broken.
Right.
But it just sort of looks like it's
subtle. You could have done that though in like she's trying to escape the elevator and the elevator door closes on her arm.
What do you think this is? Final Destination? No. This ain't that.
Sorry, I'm just trying to make their work better.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway. She dies. Beth and Ellie's neighbors help lay her to rest in their bedroom and search for a way out. The guy asking to pray, I thought, was funny. He's so serious. It's way overdone, I thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, and the lady's like, well, she wasn't religious. And he's like, oh, well, we're doing it anyway.
Right.
And immediately there's a demon in the room.
Right.
They find that the staircase is collapsed. The elevator is damaged and they're unable to access the fire escape before Ellie revives and attacks the family, wounding Bridget. I love when they're like, wait, so she's not dead?
Yeah.
They get her in the tub.
Well, the fly on the eye and her turning her head thing, that was
That's great. That was great. Yeah.
that was a good shot.
Uh-huh.
And actually the shot that I thought was better was where they all like left the room and she just had like half her face sticking out from the door.
Oh yeah.
That
a
was a
great
good
shot.
shot.
I agree.
That was
yeah.
a really good shot.
And I gotta admit, I had to say that her makeup is perfect. I think she looks
It's really
the
good.
look, the actor they picked for her,
Yeah.
and everything about she's
Well,
perfect.
And a lot of times in these movies, they'll pick these actors that are supposed to be related and look nothing fucking alike.
Sure.
The two that played the sisters,
It's viable.
I mean,
can
it's
believe.
definitely
Yeah.
viable with them. They did a good job.
Yeah, I agree. And they do feel like I think one thing this movie gets right is that the family dynamic works. It feels realistic enough to me.
Right.
The sister, and they don't agree with each other, but they still love each other,
Right.
and they're whatever. I thought everyone worked. Let's see. This kind of skips over the bathroom scene, but the bathroom scene, love that the water's boiling in the tub.
Right.
That's really cool. I didn't really need the walking on the ceiling thing. Like, that's a trope that
it was best done in Exorcist 3.
get back to the Pope's Exorcist. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if it's fine, it doesn't make me mad, but it's one of those things where I don't get anything out of that anymore.
No.
No.
I mean, the only thing that worked to me was the coming over the edge of the tub.
That's cool. They're kind of like The Shining or something.
And her up on above the tub and the scream.
Yeah.
And then they could have left it at that.
Mm-hmm.
Her dropped and then,
I like the hand.
tub like
I like
she
the hand
did.
coming over the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
No, I meant the ceiling stuff and everything else.
That would have been fine
if they would have left it just right there at that point.
I agree. But it's a visual that I think people like. I don't hate it, but it's just like one of those things where I'm like, that didn't really.
It's almost an overused trope.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean,
I totally agree. Beth and the children lock Ellie outside the apartment, and after she pursues it, after which she pursues and massacres the neighbors.
Yeah.
I like
how they frame that.
I did see someone complain. They pointed out that maybe it's a little lame that those kills are through the peephole, but I think it's a good choice.
I thought it was too.
Those are bonus kills anyway.
Right.
If you look at it like that. And seeing it through the peephole puts you in
their perspective.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it would have maybe been weirder if we had just been in the hall with the camera. Seeing through the peephole, I think, is a cool device.
Yeah, it wasn't and some of the shots with that was really neat.
Yeah.
And especially the one, where the guy that was praying, he was on the backside of it, and then she came around, and then you saw kind of that, from behind her and him angle of it, and her killing him. And that was really the only one you really saw.
You saw the arms get ripped off.
Yeah.
And then you see the shotgun guy, Mr.
But I can't remember what his name is. But that one's off.
Mr. Fonda.
Off.
That's Mr. Fonda, isn't it?
Oh, okay. But that was completely off, the kind of Scooby-Doo hallway. Back and forth.
Yes, absolutely. Danny confesses to Beth after recovering the Natrum de Monto, and Ellie tricks Cassie into unlocking the door before attacking her. The scene when Ellie, and she's named Ellie, but everyone online calls her Maggot Mommy, and I'm into it. Maggot Mommy tricks Cassie into unlocking the door, and I thought that scene was really good when she's like, "Oh, your dad's back," and it's that Evil Dead 1 thing where they're playing these mental games with you. They're just full. It's the most evil you could be, is to lie to a kid like that about something like that. I mean, it's so evil.
But I almost, if they would have played that the little girl would have been younger.
I think she's as young as I want to see a kid in peril. It's already on the edge. For me.
It already is, but in all honesty, a kid that age that's seen that shit go down, there is no way in hell she would have unlocked that door. No
I don't
matter
know.
what.
But that aside, when Ellie comes up to the right to the people and she's like, do it for mom and dad. I was like, whoa, I love that. They pitch her voice down a little bit.
Right.
Boy, I love it. And she's acting and saying like, oh, he's right here. He came back.
Right.
Oh, that's good.
But like I said, if it would have been a little bit younger kid, I would have been a little more believable with it. Maybe just a couple years. But I mean, by the mentality of this little girl, she seemed a little more mature than her age.
I thought she was fantastic, by the way.
Oh no, yeah, she's
I'm not good.
That's not a knock on her. That's saying that a girl that maturity that saw all that shit go down,
yeah,
there's no way in hell that girl would have opened that door.
I think you could make that argument. But
So,
the maggot mommy was pretty she had a good argument, I guess. Anyway, I liked it, and I liked the face in the door.
The scenes and the visual and all that. No, it was great. It was just, and there was a couple little plot hole things that I had, like when the sister got injured by her. Why did she not turn, but the daughter that got jabbed?
Remind me what the injury was. What was it?
Through the hand.
Oh, the stab. Right. But it wasn't.
It had already had blood on it from her hand and stuff.
I don't think it. Well, yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
but the other ones,
she broke the glass and had blood all on her hand and on the glass.
Right. The other ones are more obvious.
Her hand up, it went through.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
I mean, is it a conscious decision to do that, or is it? I mean, I know that was one of the things that were in the book, but it's not like she wasn't family either.
One thing I can think of as an immediate response to that is, if you look at the logic of the Evil Dead game, maybe the demon didn't quite have the power yet to spread. I'm just thinking of anything. So like in the Evil Dead game, you can't just go around possessing everyone all the time. Like you have to work up to it.
Right.
So maybe the demon has to feed, and we know that the demon sort of feeds on the chaos and the despair and everything. So maybe that demon didn't have the energy yet to do that.
Well, I don't know. It was pretty damn hectic at that point.
Oh man. And I love that they give you that description, like, oh, it feeds on the chaos.
Yeah.
It feeds on the fear. Like that's really cool. Okay, where are we?
Okay. This was breaking through the door.
Bridget becomes possessed via her wound.
Right.
Bridget attacks Beth before turning on Danny and Cassie, who inadvertently impales her through the head with a broken broom handle, aka Staffney. The best. Very good.
Now that whole scene with her possessed,
so good, right? Wasn't it?
That was really good. I would say
the sheet over and
before that, her on the counter.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
When the one under the sheet has the person up against the counter, the other kid up against the counter.
No, before that.
Oh, okay.
When the sister and I forget what her name is.
Well, we have
the tech sister.
That one's Beth.
Beth. When Beth comes around the corner and she's on top of the counter.
That's
before looking the sheet.
Like looking up weird.
Yeah, and eating glass, and you see it go down.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. That's really brutal.
No, that was another non-practical effect that I wish they would have made.
The shot of the neck.
The shot of the neck. I think it would have been more. It almost did kind of like take me out. I mean, it looked brutal. More her just chewing on the glass.
Yeah, he didn't really need to show
the neck.
You didn't even need to show that, really.
But I mean, if they would have done that shot of the neck as a practical effect and not a CGI one, I think it would have been more impactful because it would have really looked, a little more gruesome and a little more.
Yeah, I wonder how you would even do that.
I mean,
I'm not an expert. I don't know, but I'm just trying to imagine like that would be a fun thing to try to do. Anyway. Yeah, you're right. And that scene is cool too. And also we kind of skipped over the eggs scene.
Oh, at
where
the
she's
beginning,
yeah, that was
she's
good.
cooking the eggs.
And then the
There,
thing that
some of them were bloody.
yeah. The thing I also wanted to mention was when Ellie comes out of the dark room and she goes, "Which one of you wants to run next?" And she
Oh
goes,
yeah,
"Eeny, meeny, miny, you."
you. Yeah.
Oh man, that's so good. Ugh.
As I said, there's a lot of good.
That's
Like
very
I
Evil
said,
Dead to me. That's very Evil Dead. That's better than half the shit Evil Ash says. Come on.
come
He
on.
says Sally Forth and his jaw falls off.
I know.
Where are
And you
we?
can't tell me that's not great.
I love it. I love it.
And he has to strap his jaw.
Sally Forth.
And...
Yeah, okay. Beth listens to the third record to understand how to exorcise the Deadites, but learns the priest failed and his allies were all possessed, with only complete destruction of the host stopping the Deadites. Bridget revives and fatally stabs Danny. Oh, that's from the scissors in the nose.
Yes.
Good God. Another brutal, unique thing. I've seen scissors in horror plenty, but that straight up the sniffer. Good Lord. I mean, that was brutal.
Yeah.
And it looked great. I mean, it just looked great. So Danny sets Bridget on fire before dying as Ellie infiltrates. That whole bit with the sheet is on
Right.
Bridget, and Bridget stabbing through the arm. That looked good. That looked really good.
Yeah.
And what else happened? There's something else really good happened during that moment. I just like all that stuff. It all works for me.
Well, I mean, that was a big part with Staphne.
Yes, Staphne, the best. Okay.
Yeah.
Bridget revives and fatally stabs Danny, sets Bridget on fire before dying, as Ellie infiltrates the apartment by using the vents.
Yeah.
Yes, you think the cat's going to get killed. The cat doesn't die, but the cat gives an idea to the demon.
That we know of.
That's true. Maybe while she was in there, she
could have ate it. Yeah.
Realizing
that would have been a great part. She jumps in the vents and you
burps and like pulls a little hair out.
Yeah.
Realizing Beth is pregnant, Ellie attempts to rip the fetus out of her, but Beth and Cassie are able to incapacitate her with scissors. There's the scissors.
Yes.
Ellie fails to emotionally manipulate Cassie, who accepts that her mother is already gone. This is right around the time when Cassie says, "Are you going to be a mommy?"
Yeah.
And then Beth says, she takes a pause and says yes. But I really, really like that moment.
Yeah.
That moment is really good because it's not just a simple, yes, I'm pregnant. Right. It's like you were making the decision to be not only the mother to that child, but probably to Cassie as well.
Yeah.
If you think about it, she's saying like, I'm going to be here for you. Don't worry about it.
Right.
It's more of a reassuring thing to the kid as well. I love that. There's more to it than just, yes, I'm pregnant.
Yeah, that was a good back and forth.
Really,
really
that.
was.
That was really good, man. So Danny and the bodies of the neighbors are possessed. The bodies of the neighbors, leading Beth and Cassie to take shelter in the damaged elevator. That scene also 10 out of 10. They're all chanting "Dead by Dawn."
Yeah,
it gives me the chills. It's so cool. It's the elevator is slamming and they're chanting, and it's just the tension is wild, and they're stuck in this elevator. And then Ellie, Bridget, and Danny merge into a multi-limbed creature known as the Marauder. Oh, I didn't know it was called the Marauder.
I didn't know that. I was calling it Famablob.
Famablob. It's basically John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah.
It's also a necromorph from Dead Space. I was initially a little bit bummed out. I was like, oh, that's what the creature is. Like, we've seen this before many times.
And actually, the Famablob thing came from the Star Brand series in comics.
Okay.
And like DP7 and Star Brand, those.
I didn't know that one.
There was a thing called Famablob. It was like this family that like merged in together and then like just kept collecting people, more and more giant where there was more people and voices, and yeah, that was
Sounds like a
kinda cool.
Famoblob.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now initially I was like, yeah, that's kind of bummed by that design. But the more like on my second viewing of the movie, I appreciated it more because it is the metaphor, the family thing. So it works. It works with the story, but maybe it doesn't deliver on. Like I'm thinking of the end of Evil Dead 2 when you get this amazing, big, huge. They call it Rotten Apple Head in the commentary.
Right.
I don't know what it actually is called, this demon, but it's this massive demon thing that like fills the whole doorway.
Right.
I was expecting something more like that, but the Famoblob is pretty cool. I like it. It climbs above the elevator, and the elevator fills with blood, which is glorious. The combined weight causes the elevator to plummet to the ground floor, allowing Beth and Cassie to flee to the parking lot. The Marauder captures Cassie and attempts to behead her with a chainsaw, but Beth returns and distracts it. She and Cassie destroy the Marauder's body by forcing it into the wood chipper. Ellie's decapitated head taunts Beth, saying she will be a failure as a mother, prompting her to kick Ellie's head into the chipper. Beth and Cassie escape the building together. The next morning, Jessica goes to the parking lot to leave for her vacation, where she is attacked by an unseen force. And that's Jessica from the beginning of the movie. So that's how the evil gets to the cabin.
Right.
So there's a few things to go back there. I love the wood chipper stuff. That's very cool. Them being completely covered in blood. That poor little girl's face. And her eyes open up and she goes, "Am I dead?"
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And just the contrast of her teeth and her eyes compared to the red. It was
her
like
little bitty face. She's so cute. I really like all that. The thing, and my probably biggest problem with this entire movie, is the line that Beth has, the "come get some" line. I get why you would want that there, because it's from Evil Dead. It's a Bruce Campbell thing.
Yeah.
Bruce says it multiple times. But I don't think it makes any sense
for that character,
for Ellie to say that at all.
No.
Or Beth, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think that makes any sense. This is the biggest knock I'm going to give the movie, because I would need to be convinced as to why it makes any sense whatsoever for her to say that. The line about "only my sister gets to call me that," that line makes sense.
Yeah.
That should have been the line.
That should have been it right there.
Mm-hmm. But I get that the head, that's a very Evil Dead thing. The head threatening you one more time literally happens in Army of Darkness.
Right.
When Evil Ash's head is talking to Ash.
Right. And that's fine. And I mean, that's fine too. That's, and that's another trope yet again of, some demonic creature that the head's left. I mean, you can even go all the way to Constantine. Remember when Gavin Rossdale's, So, but yeah, the "come get some," that one really kind of...
It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever.
No, that one kind of rubbed me why it was in it.
The theater liked it. The crowd I was with liked it. But I was like...
Well, it was a member berry. I mean, that's all it was. All it was.
It doesn't ruin the movie by any means. But I was like, can we not have an alternate line there?
That was that was a little cringy.
Yeah. It did make me kind of go... I wouldn't have gone with that line. But I want to give some credit to Lee Cronin, who wrote and directed this movie. I think it's nailed. I think he nails it. If your job was give me Evil Dead in a high-rise apartment, this is it.
Oh, and like I said, as a movie, I liked it. I think it did an awesome job at it.
Mm-hmm.
I just, like I said, my opinion, but it had throwbacks to Evil Dead, but it just didn't feel like Evil Dead to me. The way honestly, even the original remake, was like spot on Evil Dead.
Oh, I love the 2013 remake.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, I like this movie a lot. In some ways, it is most like the original and the 2013 remake. It seems to follow that. Here's the thing. Evil Dead has evolved as a franchise.
Yeah.
It starts out as a vicious possession movie in the woods, right?
Right.
But then it ends up an action comedy thing with a man fighting skeletons and
Right.
winged
Many-
demons
mi-
and stuff. It's
many hymns
and it's a
and-
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah. It's a comedy. It goes to humor. So to go back a little bit and kind of go back to the roots, like I can see why it might be like, well, like even Evil Dead 2 is like already fully opened the door to the comedy. It's a
Right.
Looney Tunes cartoon of a horror movie.
Right.
That's exactly what it is. It's the Three Stooges. It's Looney Tunes. It is so cartoon like.
Yeah.
That's what you're going to get with the Sam Raimi Evil Dead. So I can see why people go, well, I don't know. That's not the way I want Evil Dead to feel.
Right.
But I think this ticks every box for it to work as an Evil Dead movie. I don't think it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, why'd they even bother to call it Evil Dead? I think it deserves it. And I think I want to see more from Lee Cronin. I like his previous movie, Hole in the Ground.
Right.
It's a different kind of movie, but I really like it.
Yeah.
I want to see more of Beth and the little girl. Hopefully they get to come back. Like I would like all these different timelines to have sequels.
Well, I mean, at this point, let's get the third book. You've already, we've seen it in Army of Darkness. They talked about it in this one. Let's get a separate story from the third book, and then make a story that culminates all that together.
That's been the talk for a long time. That's been the talk since 2013 when Mia, she's the survivor from that one.
Right.
The idea was, and there's interviews with Bruce and Sam saying, we'd love to do the next movie to be Bruce and Mia teaming up.
Right.
That would have been amazing. But if we can get all these together into one final, whatever, and this can continue forever. I mean, you don't have to have Bruce. As much as I love Bruce, he is like the factor that makes them all work in the originals.
Right.
But I think we can go for a long time with this. I want more. I want an Evil Dead movie every year. And if they're not all amazing, fine. I just want more, maybe not every year, but I want one. I want more. I don't want to wait 10 years for the next one. This movie has got me so excited about it.
I mean, I could see, and just kind of a jumping off point, do another one of the third book. And then you've got these three separate, antagonists that the last person in each one of these movies. And
the survivor character.
The survivor character. Yeah. And then somehow, and you can even have him more of a, semi-serious, but somehow Ash has to get them all together and the books all together.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And be that fourth movie, and to use a bad movie comparison, the three mother boxes from Justice League.
Yes.
That there's something's going to happen
They
if those
merge.
three
culminate,
together.
I just watched that again. Why did I watch that again? I had it. It was on.
Because it was on TV. And
exactly
background
right,
noise.
Yeah. Whatever. I don't want to get into Justice League.
And then to have that's when Ash comes in.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the goofy Superman.
Yes.
To bring it all,
by the way, speaking of Bruce Campbell and Superman, I don't know if you follow him on Twitter, but someone tweeted
but I haven't seen anything from him.
Someone tweeted the idea of him playing Kingdom Come Superman.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
And he was like, DM me. How great would that be?
Yeah.
He could have played Superman. He could still do Kingdom Come Superman.
Yeah.
That would be so awesome. I love that. So yes, for me, this movie does way more good than it does wrong. And I saw it twice. I love this thing.
And I liked it a lot. Like
the sound design.
The sound was awesome. Yeah.
I noticed many little things that were directly pulled from other Evil Dead movies, like weird little noises that you will only know if you've seen them all many times, like I have. Just weird little sounds that are just like, wait, you would never think twice about. But I was like, that's from Evil Dead 2. That's from Army of Darkness. Like, I recognize these little sounds that they snuck in there. And I thought the sound design was incredibly good.
Yeah. And I like the fact that the score
it's great.
of the movie was so subtle, but it played in a very integral part.
Yeah,
You
the score
know,
works. I think everything, and it feels like Evil Dead. It
yeah,
doesn't feel like some weird knockoff to me. I
yeah,
think it worked. That score could have been. And let me tell you this: the sound design for Evil Dead 2, for example, is like really bad. I don't know if
oh
you've
yeah,
seen it recently, but
oh yeah.
the sound not it does not hold up. You can't get a good
Well,
mix of that movie.
it's probably okay for its time
Right, it would have been okay at
and
the
the kind
time,
of budget
but
that.
I feel like even at the time, maybe it wasn't the most amazing.
Well, it might
Um,
be also because of the budget at that point.
yeah, but what I'm saying is that this is one example of where this movie outshines some of the original by
Yeah,
far. That is, it's just the sound design to me is off the charts in this movie.
yeah.
I think it's really good. So I could talk about this for another 3 hours. But I think we've said what we need to say.
Yeah.
We give a rating. We don't do star ratings or
Right.
whatever. But
No.
is my rating system has always been: should you see it or not? Do I recommend it or not? And hell yes.
Yeah, yeah,
2 thumbs way up.
yeah.
Go see Evil Dead Rise. Take your whole family. Don't do that. But please go see it if you're even considering. If you like, and the nice thing here, you don't need to have seen any of the other Evil Dead movies,
No.
which I think is another thing that really works in this movie's favor.
Right.
There are some Easter eggs, obviously, for people
A
who
ton.
love the old ones. There's a ton of them, but you do not need to have seen
No.
any of those other ones.
No.
They'll add to your enjoyment.
That's
But,
the one thing that I do like is it's in, as much as, like I said, it doesn't to me have that feel that okay. It's not that it doesn't feel like an Evil Dead movie. It doesn't have my feel of
Right.
an Evil Dead movie.
I think we hit on that because
Yeah.
it's like I said, you could be more of a fan of the comedy horror in Evil Dead 2
Right.
or whatever, the Army of Darkness action fun
But
comedy. But this is
right.
different. This is
Yeah,
more like
this
Evil
as
Dead
a
1.
whole, this as a whole, like I said, and even if you didn't know anything about the previous ones, it's almost better if you're a casual fan
Hmm.
to not know about the previous ones, because this will seem more like a self-contained,
Mm-hmm.
horror
Oh, yeah.
movie. That's good.
Yeah, it's good for sure.
So
Boy, I was expecting to have to fight you hard on this, but not at all. I think your
No.
opinion is pretty good too.
I think we're
So-
just getting to the same point of our opinion of the movie, and just from different angles.
Yeah,
I
no,
said it.
I've already pre-ordered it on Amazon. I'm ready for that blue. It better
Yeah.
have a commentary.
Oh, I'm sure.
No thanks to you, Glorious.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well,
I can't say. Well, I could say tons more, but I don't need to say anything else. I think my
Right.
opinion is clear. This movie. Oh, let's rank them.
okay.
And after all I've said, I think I have my ranking pretty much. Actually, okay, this is actually tougher than I anticipated because sometimes I want more of the comedy, and then sometimes I want more of the vicious horror.
Right.
I think they're pretty much all. I would maybe go Evil Dead 2, Army of Darkness joint first, then Evil Dead 1, Evil Dead Remake joint second, then Rise, then the TV show.
Yeah. That's probably about where I have.
But they're all 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
They're all so good. So like I don't want you people to think like I'm saying the ones on the bottom are bad. They're not. They're all awesome. That's the thing. There's not a stinker in the bunch. You have to admit that. There isn't.
Yeah.
There's not.
And in my perspective, Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness could be interchanged as 1 and 2.
That's why I had to put them joint.
That's
Yeah, exactly right.
So
I agree with that.
This is a ranking we probably both agree on for the first time of our podcast.
For the first time ever. Yeah, that might be it. Yeah,
but and like I said, I don't want people to think that I didn't like it, because I did. I really did like it. But it just, for me, like I said, 2 and Army of Darkness are that feel of Army of Darkness that I have, and this just wasn't. it had throwbacks and memories
Mhm.
to those movies, but it didn't have that same exact feel.
It's just your preference. That's
Yeah,
fine.
So
You should have one. If you didn't, you
like I
shouldn't be
said,
here.
you could have taken the dead off and just did Evil Rise,
Evil Rise.
and it would have been just as good of a movie.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So
Yeah, absolutely. Boy, I loved it. I want to talk about it forever. I probably will. So I may try to sneak to the theater for a third viewing. I
third
don't
time,
know.
go on a Tuesday night,
Oh, it's so good. That's when I went the
$5
second
show.
time.
Yeah,
I did it for I did it for the second one. So good. So anyway, that's everything I have to talk about for today.
that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us. You can join our Discord to chat with us. Tell us what we got wrong, what we got right. Normally I would say go in there and attack Chris, but don't do that. We agreed today. And just join and hang out with us. We're on Twitter, we're on Facebook, all that stuff. I never look at the Facebook. Do you look at the I never look at it. Okay.
I look at it. I always, when we have our show, I always kind of check back and forth.
Okay.
So.
I never do. I should,
but
but
no,
I just
get on Twitter and our Discord are probably the biggest ones that we interact with.
for sure. If you chat in that Discord, I will be there within 5 minutes. I guarantee you.
Yeah.
So yes, join us there. Join us in 2 weeks. We'll be covering Guardians.
Yes. Guardians,
GOTG.
and then we will finally recap Mando.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know if we need to.
I know.
We'll talk about it sometime.
Yeah.
But
We'll
for
get
sure,
to it.
we'll be back for Guardians.
Yes.
I look forward to that very much.
I do too.
Early
I
previews
will-
are good. I've heard good.
Yeah,
I've heard good things.
really good things about it.
To the point where they're saying it kind of makes the rest of the MCU look bad, which is great.
Lately, that's not hard.
fine, good.
Lately, that's really not that hard.
Well, I'm saying that's a good thing. Maybe this is an uptick. Maybe it's just because James Gunn rules.
I
We'll
was
see.
gonna say.
We'll see.
All right.
We can't talk about it now. We gotta go.
We can't. All right. See you
All
guys
right.
next time.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.
Bye.